Welcome, welcome to my webinar, to my Zoom call, whatever you want to call it, on optimizing your health and wellness and trying to really determine what is best for your body and to allow your health and wellness to be at its optimum, to find the things and discover what will help your body thrive. Because many of you have worked with me, have heard me before, this has been a great group. I have WildFit graduates, WildFit coaches, people just finishing WildFit, a couple of people that haven't done WildFit, and people that have been with me for a while on my reset and release program. So thank you guys so much for being here. Now, when I set this up, I did not realize that the time change would happen in the US so early. So I feel I won't be surprised if many in Europe aren't on this call at this time, and we'll have to be watching the recording. But so if we see a lot of people popping in at the end of the hour, we'll know what happened. But yes, we had a time change. It is 11 a.m. here on the East Coast, and even though I'm way over in Jamaica, we're still on East Coast time here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I just would love to start how I usually do, with one cycle of a 5-5-5 breathing. It really just slows everything down and brings us into focus. So you all know what that is. So hold in for 5, hold for 5, and release for 5. Here we go. And hold. And release. And you know I love to shake it out, baby. And then, as Jerry did, you know, you got to get that dopamine in there too. So if you haven't heard me say this, just this simple thing of raising your arms in the victory pose sends a shot of dopamine through your body. Cheap drugs, people, way better than sugar. So do it often. Who is it that did the focus on TED Talks about the power poses, you know, like the Wonder Woman, you put your hands on your hip, and there's all kinds of things about that. So if you know, then just pop it into the chat so somebody can watch that. But these simple things that send the signal to your body that you're happy, that you're sending those good, the dopamine and all of those wonderful endorphins coursing through your body. These little tiny things make such a difference. And in tuning to your body, not only sending it signals by doing physical things, you can also really slow down and listen to your body to find out what is it that is allowing you to thrive. Where are you at your best? Now, I can give you hints, I can give you suggestions, but it's really going to be you tuning into you. And I've had some of my clients ask me, what the heck does that mean? So that's sort of what this is about. How do you tune into you? How do you listen? First of all, you slow down. You slow down. You actually breathe. You do your 5-5-5 breathing. And then you ask yourself these certain questions, like, how do I feel right now? How's my energy? How's my mood? Am I being patient with others, or am I being a little impatient? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. That's not really being present with them. Are you able to slow down? Do you have a bit of a headache? Do you need to sit down and put your feet up and take a 5-minute nap? Or get out into the sun? Or garden for a little bit? Or look at the sky? These small little things, tune into yourself. What do you need right now? Hey, do you need to pee? Then take the time to do it. All right. So, and then, you know, in tuning to yourself, are you hungry? Do you need food? Often we've learned you really need water. This has a little bit of mint tea in it, so it looks a little funny here today. It's so interesting. I put like this much tea in it. It tastes like, whoa, my water is flavored. So many times we haven't had enough water. Again, there's a lot of different research out there that we know our body is made up of a lot of water. The percentage varies. The indigenous people say 90%, and that's what I'm going with. Our body is 90% water. So if you are even a bit dehydrated, then the message from here isn't getting to here, down to your feet. Your body isn't communicating well within itself. So if you feel a little dizzy, if you feel a little discombobulated, if you're not thinking clearly, your focus is off, start with the breathing, always number one, and the water. Then the next thing to look for, after you slow down and you breathe and you have your water, is your mindfulness. Where is your attitude at? Where is your, I don't really want to say attitude, just your level of enjoyment, okay? If you're a little bit impatient, if you're a little bit grumpy, you're probably not at your best. That's when it's time to slow down, take a break. You know, when our toddlers and our youngsters kind of have a little bit of a breakdown, we tell them to go take a timeout. Well, guess what we often need? You know, if we're a little short with somebody, we don't quite have the patience, we're not understanding, we want our way, but you know, we're really that way. It's time for a timeout. Take a nap. Like I said, all those other things, get out into the sunshine for a little bit, do something, go for a walk barefoot, because I'm not in Alaska snow right now. Take a walk barefoot and really get in tune with the earth. It only takes a few minutes. There's so many things like this. But back to listening into your body, okay? Slowing down and being aware of asking yourself. We all get caught up in things, and that's fine. But, you know, if you're sitting at your desk for a few hours go by, maybe you need to use your phone to set a timer, or set a timer on your computer to give you a signal to take a break. And then tune into yourself by saying, how do I feel? Get up out of your chair and move your body for a little bit. Stand up and do your work for a little bit. See if you can take a call. I happened to listen to Eric Edmead's doing a first week of a Mind Valley class, Zoom call, day one. Always so exciting to hear Eric do day one. And I was just walking around the ship, doing laps and moving my body, because I wasn't physically participating in the Zoom meeting, so therefore I got some movement in. So there's so many ways that you can tune in to listen to what your body's asking for. If you have a little bit of an ache in the back, do some stretches. Get on a ball, you know, those big balls, and stretch your back way out. If you've got my neck is a little sore, well then just tune in and send that good energy, okay? So back to sort of like when you are tuning in, what is your mood? What is your energy? Because there's a scale of energy. You know, you can see it in kids more readily sometimes than in ourselves, first of all. But when you're feeling joy and you're feeling happiness, you're in such a creative, connected mode, as opposed to when you are angry, when you are depressed, when you are exhausted. That's not really a mood, but those are the times when you're kind of trending down. You're not at your optimum. And if you want to be seeking your optimum, then you've got to look at that mood and try to bring yourself up into those higher vibrational states of joy, satisfaction, appreciation. One of my favorite animals has become the butterfly. That thing is amazing. Hummingbirds also, they're the ones that go every which way. But a butterfly, they just transform. They're just so pretty. They just float on. They flit, and they don't have any path. Nope, you don't know where they're going, those butterflies. And so I appreciate that. And when I totally can look at that and just feel the joy that I have for them, or some fresh flowers, or some whatever brings me joy, it brings my mood up. It changes my vibration to something where things really fall into place for me. So you can really like push against something when you're grumpy, when you're irritated, when you're discouraged, or you can try to gradually get into a state where you feel better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And then once you're feeling better, then to get your work done, you cruise through it. Everything falls into place. So the same thing is true with your food and with what you're seeking for your optimum health and wellness. Because it's not just when we did WildFit, which I think almost everybody here, yes, is a WildFit graduate. When we did it wasn't about the food, right? It started out to be about the food, but we learned so much more. It was about the mindfulness. It was about the compassion to ourselves, putting ourselves first. And so that's what I would love for you to focus on as you are seeking these answers. Because the answers don't come from Coach Pamela. The answers come from within you. You guys, not only is your body a brilliant, magnificent being, but so are you. You're into everything that you do and everything that you are. So the more you can have compassion for that, know that I'm just learning, and see the best in things that can really, really change and upgrade your life. Now, I'd love to take some pauses between this and take any questions. So if you do have a question on this, please go ahead and raise your hand. I have a lot of different, raise your hand either. I have a lot of persons that don't have a camera on, but that's okay. And I'm sure I have a lot of persons because we had over 70 enroll in this webinar. So hopefully some more will pop on. If you all would take a minute and just let me know in the chat where you are from and say hello. That's always so interesting to me. Well-being. You know, we have like health and wellness, and we are attempting to, like I said, this is about optimizing your health, your wellness, and your well-being, and all those kind of come together. Your body, your mind, your spirit. And it's really the package of it that in order to optimize that, you need to pull all of them together. Choosing the foods that nourish you, that truly nourish you, and the portions of it, which is another thing, and the speed at which you eat them, because so many of us bring that mindlessness when we are eating. In WildFit, we really concentrated on listening to the dialogue, slowing down. Do I really want this? How do I feel? And after you graduate, sometimes you step away from that because you have learned so much. But if you want to really fine tune, and if you want to take it to WildFit to the next level of finding your optimum, you've got to get back to that state. Slow down. Sit down when you eat. Cut your food into small pieces. Here's a concept. Put your fork down between bites. Okay? It really does make a difference. And we're more mindful of how much food we are eating. Take the time to savor it. Do I really like this food? You know, I really, really, really like watermelon, but not when it's mushy, not when it's not ripe. So I choose, you know, within a piece of watermelon sometimes, you know, I don't eat near the rind. Or if the tip of, you know, from the center is too mushy, I just put that aside. Eat the parts that really, that you savor, that you absolutely love. And let that love of that food and that savoring rejuvenate you. Because you can eat a piece of watermelon with like a piece of chocolate cake with complete guilt, or, and I'm not saying there's anything against chocolate cake, because you can also savor that, and it can send a signal to your body one way. If you eat something that you're savoring versus you eat something that you're guilty about, what does that say to your body? So find those things that that really truly fuel you, and then How do you know that? Well, you all got a timer on your phone, right? Or if you're in your kitchen, you sit down to eat, set your timer for an hour later, an hour. And then ask yourself these questions. How's my mood? How's my energy? How's my mental focus? How is my hunger? Am I satiated? How's my tummy? Is it bloated? So ask yourself these kind of questions, and that will tell you if the food you ate is supporting you in the long term or taking it away from it. And Sue, I see your hand up. I'm going to just finish with one more thing, because I've talked in the past about trending. And I don't mean like, wearing some clothes that are trending or something. That's not the kind of trending I mean. The trending I mean is the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. The worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worst, right? We've all had those kind of days. So it only takes one little incremental to say, if I do this, or I eat this, or I have this, or I think this, do I feel a little bit better? Do I feel a little bit worse? Do I feel about the same? And if you can find those little things, tiny little things, that feels a little bit better. You're starting to trend in the right direction, especially if then you can find another thing makes you feel a little bit better and a little bit better. And we can talking about the tiniest little incremental changes. Eric talks about, habits and stuff, just those tiny little things. It's so, so true. Those small little things done regularly, those incremental changes where you feel a little bit better, and you feel a little bit better, and you feel a little bit better, then you're leaning in towards your optimum in everything. All right, Miss Sue, what is your question today?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Pamela, and thank you for offering this to us. It's really wonderful, and Pamela's my coach, so it's very good to be here. So my question today is about sustainability, because I guess I was under the impression that I could finish WildFit and that I should be able to to have this lifestyle, like I should be able to do it on my own. It should be just part of my life forever. And that's how I really see it, that I need to be this way forever for my own health and well-being. And I want to be, but I just thought, I hope there will be a point where, like right now, I feel like I need a lot of support. But I hope that at some point I would be on my own and this would be just regular business. I don't know what happens to people. What's the usual thing? So I guess that's my question. I don't hope it makes sense.
Sure, it makes total sense. And for everybody here, when you were close to, you're in week 12 of WildFit, where Sue is right now, you remember that feeling, because you've just learned to walk, you're just learning about WildFit, and there's so much more to learn. So sustainability, it's so unique for every person, and that's the key of why slowing down and really listening to yourself is so important, because you are the most knowledgeable person of you, each of you here. We go to our doctors and stuff, but really we know better, because we're so in tune with ourselves, than any other medical expert or any other expert. But we give our power away sometimes, often, usually. So just really honoring ourselves, and that the wisdom is within us, and sometimes it takes a while to really listen to that. So sustainability, for me, and I think most everybody here, collaboration is still always a key factor of something that I want. So although I'm alone and I trust my own vision, my own wisdom, I still want to be with all of you. And the reason I love these kind of calls is because of that collaboration. Because of us coming together and every unique question being asked, my coaching changes. So until a good question is asked, I can't be a good coach, if that makes sense. So thank you for asking your question, but also know that I can lead you to just really trust in you and finding that. In living WildFit, you'll learn that you can bring back anything. There is no WildFit right and wrong. There's just some guidelines that you might want to continue on with and listen to your body to say, hey, do I need dairy anymore? Hey, do I want to have oats included in? We can take a poll. There's plenty of people that still love their chocolate. A lot of people bring back coffee. You know, those are probably a couple of the high points. And so there really is no right or wrong. And so sustainability is just really the mindfulness of it.
Well, thank you for that, because I was very curious about it. I guess I had a different assumption when I started. And I like the fact that there's so many tools and opportunities for collaboration. And then it's always there if, you know, we experiment a bit too much. So I'm very happy about that. And your response is very helpful to me. Thank you.
You are so very welcome. And for everybody here, remember, one of my favorite things to say, give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you, younger self, for even finding WildFit. Thank you for putting in the time to do it. And thank you for seeking out a tribe that supports you in finding your best self. Okay, thank you, Sue. Miss Lee.
Hi, Pamela. How are you?
Hi. Love and life.
I saw the cruise photos. I was a little bit jealous. Hugely jealous. It looks like you're having a great time. So Pamela, really for me, obviously I did this with you last year. I've been on some of your other courses, and I just find, for me, especially winter's probably been my hardest one at the moment. So, you know, summertime was so much easier, you know, salads and things like that. But yeah, definitely I found over winter, I almost sort of stuck a little bit more in the summer, autumn camps, and really found it quite difficult to get into spring, even if it was just a mild spring. Obviously it's starting, I'm feeling with the weather warming. Is that almost natural that when it is that cold in Europe, that we do tend to want to stay a little bit more in that autumn, summer sort of range?
So raise your hand. I know we don't have too many with cameras on who feel exactly this way in the winter. See, there you go. It is so natural. I mean, one of the reasons I'm cruising right now and keeping my toes in the sand is because I was in Alaska for so long. I don't need that snow anymore. I made a lifestyle change to better my future, because winters are hard. You want to close in, you sleep more, your body wants a little bit extra padding and the extra fat to keep yourselves warm. Yes, so you are perfectly right. So as now everybody here is in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, as we go into the Northern Hemisphere, into our spring, into our summer, it gets a lot easier. We start wearing less clothes. We're like, oh, I kind of need to like pay attention. You move more, you have better energy, and it's spring. So you naturally want all those wonderful asparagus and all of the spring vegetables that are starting to come up.
Yeah.
You are not alone, my dear.
Okay, so it's natural that maybe in those colder winter months not to have as much spring, and then really now that we're coming out is really try and cycle more into those sort of spring foods and things like that. Yes, and this is great mindfulness, because you've taken the time to really notice
it's not you, you know, it's also the environment that you're in, and we can only change so much of that environment at a time until you make a lifestyle choice or anything. But you know, the more you have these desires of what you want, then the more you are clear and find that clarity to give you, allow you to find that optimum that you're seeking. And
Thank you.
we never get it done. So, because as soon as you reach a goal, there's another one, and another one, and another one. And we're always a work in progress and a magnificent piece of artwork at the same time. So we're both a work in progress and a masterpiece. So, you know, just always keep that in mind too.
Super. Thanks, Pamela.
Enjoy spring.
Thank you.
All right. I don't have any other questions right now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about when I was talking about like trending, feeling a little bit better, a little bit better. There's also when you're not feeling well and you're feeling a little bit worse and a little bit worse, sometimes it's hard to change momentum. So one of the best ways that you can do that, take a nap, go to bed, wake up on the other side, give yourself a time out, because really there's no fixing it if you're on that down a little bit worse and a little bit worse and a little bit worse. You just got to stop, take a break, change what you're doing. Like I said, go to sleep, go be by yourself, read a really good book, or do a meditation, something to completely change your state. But you might need to wait till the next day after a really good night's sleep. So, but when you're feeling that way, it's time to let go. It's time to kind of let go and stop the pushing, because it's just going to take more and more effort, and it's going to be that much harder to get anything done. So just nurture yourself a little bit, take a tub, take a break, and step away from it until you can feel a little bit better. Just a little better. A warm bath, maybe with some really nice scents, a little bit better. Maybe your favorite tea, a little bit better. Maybe a tiny piece of chocolate. Think about the food if you're going to be using food for that kind of thing. I encourage you to find other things that bring sweetness into your life. Really know what it is that you love. For anybody that sees my posts, hammocks, tire swings, any kind of swing, it just brings out the joy in me. In the past, when we lived in Alaska, a roaring fire in my fireplace. Oh my God, with a luxurious blanket. That's it, joy. So find those things that bring you joy. And when you're feeling not so great, bring out that list and say, what can I do to bring myself a little bit of joy, a little bit of joy? And it's best to have those things that are just part of nature, or part of your family, or looking at old photos, or playing a mindless game on your phone, or something that you just have fun with. But find those things that bring that sweetness, that can really allow that are not food related, so that you're not nourishing broccoli soup to stay warm. Then think about that too. Okay. Any other questions right now? About finding your optimum food, slowing down. Your bodies are brilliant, phenomenal, extraordinary, magnificent. And when we get in the way of that, when we're eating things, thinking things, drinking things that are not supportive of that, then the body isn't as able to do all those lovely R words I love, which when I created my reset and release, I called it the R and R. I didn't know how many R words I loved. So your body, when you can stay out of the way and from hindering, it will heal, and it will restore, and it will refresh, and it will rejuvenate, and it will repair, and it will revitalize. It will do all of those beautiful R words. And so do your best to help it, to allow that to happen, instead of to be resisting it or be hindering it with non-supportive foods, thoughts, and drinks, movements or lack of movements. You know, if you're on your device like this, your head down, that can be a little unsupportive of your longevity of your body. So just start being aware of that. Still got no questions. I'm going to hop on to my other favorite subject, vision. Having a vision of exactly what your optimum is can help you get there. What does it look like? How does it feel? If you slow down and really listen to some of Eric's words, he often says, imagine how you'll feel when. And I ask myself that. So before I started this webinar, I said to myself, Pamela, imagine how you'll feel when you finish the call and you have some very happy, grateful persons to collaborate with that you've just enjoyed. So I got, what is it? Imagine how I got there. It hadn't even happened yet. And I was already overjoyed. It gives me thrill bumps right now, thinking about it. Because collaboration is one of my core values. It's absolutely what I love, helping others in a supportive, positive way. It's just who I am, and it brings me joy. So imagine, use those words. Imagine how you'll feel, because the emotion is the key. Not imagine how I'll think. Oh, I think I'm pretty damn successful. That doesn't really do it for me. No, I feel open. I feel like I've shared. I feel like I've boosted others up. I feel expansive. I feel like there's more opportunity. The more questions I get, the more I can share in a new way. Because a new question has me thinking and offering new things. So that's why I so love your questions, whether it's right here in this group or whether it's in the WildFit Lifestyle Journey group, in my Facebook group, or in any of the classes that I coach. I love your questions. People are like, I'm sorry, I have so many questions. You're like, I especially love the questions that I don't know the answer to, because that is more and expansive in a new way for me. I'm always learning new things. So thank you for the opportunity to learn new things. I'll say, I don't know, but let's go figure it out. I'll find some options for you. So really having that vision, and the vision of what you want and how you will feel. So if you want your longevity, what you're eating now, today, is really not for today. It's for next week. It's for next month. It's creating the cells. It's for your longevity. And once you think about that and you think about the future and what you're eating, it's not so much about the satisfaction of how that will taste. It's about nurturing your body to make that, to lean in, feel a little bit better towards your optimum. So think about that. Imagine how you'll feel when you get that dream vision, when you're actually living that dream of playing Frisbee with your grandchildren in the Grand Caymans. You know, I don't have grandchildren, but I am going to go to the Grand Caymans. So, Miss Lee, you have no question?
Yeah. So I'm about to also start to do 10x. So I've sort of upped my exercise. So did a lot of walking, now did the yoga again, the flexibility. But I did remember, and I just can't seem to find, there was something that probably spring wasn't the best season to be in when you were doing 10x, or you should add, was it the middle foods back in a little bit more just to help you with that 10x program?
Well, 10x, if you want to go all in, they have a different viewpoint on food. And it's in general, I would say just really jump in and see if doing it just the way that they say with your whole group, with those coaches, suits you and is the way to go. And then after you've learned all about 10X, then you can see how can 10X and WildFit dovetail together. But really just do one thing and just dive in and see the possibilities from doing that, and get all the, because they took their time to develop the program too. They just didn't develop it with Eric.
Yep.
So although they're both from Mind Valley, they are very different viewpoints on eating. And I even take one of our participants here, Louise, is vegan. You know, so there's different ways to take your lifestyle and what's best for you, and dovetail it all together. So I hope that helps. I can tag you in a post, but I would rather not confuse you. Just jump all in and really go for it, because it's an amazing program. I haven't done it yet, but I just know a bit about it, about the research behind it, and many clients that have really benefited from it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a perfect time to do it. Have you started yet?
I'm onboarding at the moment. There's
So
a lot to get through.
Yes, you talked about, you know, the warmer weather and stuff. So this is a great time. Your body is ready for this newness. This spring is a great time for new ways of doing things and new ideas. So yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thanks, Pamela.
So create your vision for that, of what you want to get out of 10X. What's your desire? What do you want your body to look like? And how do you want to feel? So imagine how you'll feel when you are graduating from the program. Imagine how you'll feel, you know, when you're successfully through even 4 weeks of the program. Imagine how you'll feel. All of these things, and really those feelings, when you can nurture those good feelings of joy and satisfaction and just learning new things, and the movement and moreness, and like I said, expansion is something for me that's very valuable. The more you have those good feeling things, the more and the more, then the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. So if anybody here doesn't have it written down, or a painting, or some vision board, however you want to do it, but please pull together these ideas of what you want for your ultimate dream vision. And then that will help you making your day-to-day decisions. What do you want to eat? How do you want to think? What do you want to drink to support that, to help you lean in towards getting towards that optimum? And then another great thing is habits. You all know that I absolutely adore the book Atomic Habits. If you have not read it, please do so. So many little tiny things, little easy ways to really change habits. And if you have read it, read it again. It's amazing. But having small habits. I'll give you one of my favorite things that James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. One of my favorite things is to sort of like piggyback habits. So, you know, for me, I enjoy a clean house, a clean cabin, a clean wherever I am. So when I was at home in Alaska, I always did my dishes after dinner. I didn't let them sit. So that was already a habit. I just so loved having a clean kitchen before going to bed, coming down in the morning, having that gorgeous kitchen all nice and clean. Oh, except for when Lucas would wake up in the middle of the night, make pancakes, and then leave a mess. But in general, he would clean up. But when I had a habit like that. So when I did WildFit, I paired my breathing, adding that habit to washing the dishes, because I always cleaned up afterwards. And it was a perfect time for me to practice my deep breathing. And I added that habit onto washing the dishes. I also added my deep breathing into whenever I got into a car. At that point, I owned a car, so it was my own car. And then then COVID hit and the car wasn't going anywhere. But in general, getting into a car and taking those deep breaths, it is awesome to be mindful of when you're driving rather than distracted. So much more pleasant. You get the green lights, you find the parking spot because you're actually there enjoying things. So doing your 5-5 breathing and slowing down. And now I do it when I get into a car and I'm taking an Uber, or I'm getting into a cab, or I'm getting into a shuttle. Whenever I get into a vehicle, I do my 5-5-5 breathing. So James Clear just talks about small things like that, pairing up a habit that you already have, or a habit that you already have with something that you want to add in, or something that you do on a regular basis and adding the new habit in. So another quick one would be, we all got to go to the bathroom, okay? So you could pair that up with drinking more water. And it is best to sip throughout the day and not to go to the bathroom and guzzle it, because then you're going to be in the bathroom again in another half an hour because your body can't absorb it so well. So sip your water throughout the day, but as you go to the bathroom, check your water, fill up your water bottle, maybe make a new cup of tea, add to your hydration. So taking something that you already do and adding in the habit, that's just a great way to support your longevity, support your wellness and well-being. Those small little habits. I'm all about small, incremental things. Allow it to be easy. Okay, this doesn't have to be a struggle, just a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And as I said before, we are all a work in progress. We never get it done. We don't get it done because we keep evolving, we keep changing. Right now, you guys are not the same person as you were when you logged into this call. So it is all a very unique experience, and congratulations. All right, any questions? All right. Well, keeping a food diary, or even if you have a lot of foods and you're just kind of at the beginning of your WildFit journey or your longevity journey, you don't even have to call it living WildFit, you can call it anything you want, your optimum health and wellness. Just using your phone, taking a photo of your food, what you're eating, so that then when you do check in an hour later, or you go to bed a little bit later and you go, God, you know, I've just had this headache. I just feel a little bit off. What did I eat? And it might not just be from the food. It might be that you were like this too much with your neck bent. It could be that whatever, you didn't get enough sunlight. It could be you're dehydrated. But if it continues, and you might just take a note, what did I eat? Especially then if you don't sleep well, or your digestion isn't going well. You're a little bit bloated after you eat. Note what you're eating and how you're eating. Remember that slowing down, how you're eating. Because the more you can slow down and put that fork down, the better your digestion. We got these chompers, you know. So chew well. Chew well. Well, that's about my message for today. Slowing down, celebrating what's going right, get that dopamine going, get your power poses in, whatever they look like for you, and really paying attention so that you can trend a little bit better and a little bit better, a little bit better. I want to let you all know that, you know, as oops, just went out of focus there. My signature program that I have been running for over 2 years now is my 5-week reset and release. It is for WildFit graduates. We talk about ratios. We talk about really what are the WildFit seasons and having you live those WildFit seasons. I help support you in finding your optimum and getting together a tribe of supportive people to take sort of your WildFit to the next level. Because it is ongoing work in progress. So my next program starts on March 28th, and if you have any questions, I will certainly be here to answer them.